What's going on, guys? So today's episode, I wanted to talk about a little bit about last week, because last week I said to you that I was facing a period for the last couple of months whereby people weren't really getting back to me for the podcast, and it was just a tough period where some of the beginner's luck or the beginning excitement burns out. Not the excitement, but the progress that the universe shows you at the start starts to burn out almost. So it kind of felt like, am I hitting a roadblock here, or am I being able to push forward and see something that is always been in front of me, but I can't see? So anyway, over the last few days, it's been eye opening, because I've realized that the luck, so to speak, at the start, the beginner's luck, has fully gone away. Like, it's all down to just graft and work to realize how much I actually want this. And I think that's true of anyone's journey. And it was said in The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, who said that the universe conspires to help you at the start when you're beginning your journey, because it wants you to go in that direction. So it'll open doors for you. And as Joseph Campbell says, when you follow your bliss, doors will open where there were only walls. And I've definitely found that to be the case, because as I was reaching out to people were getting back to me like this. I was making progress, recording episodes, being connected, being introduced, and things started to slow down. And then I realized, okay, this is a part of the journey. This is now, I've come to a point where it's up to me to continue the momentum and build on that momentum. So if you're going through something yourself now, and you're going through a journey of achieving whatever goal it is you want to achieve, at the start, it may be easy in the beginning few months, because you feel a sense of clarity, or you feel like things are falling into place. That doesn't last forever, because then eventually you will be tested to see how much you actually want it. Anyway, I've reached out to a few more people. People are starting to get back to me slowly, getting people to make introductions for me, and also look back at the people that I know already, who can go back and make introductions for me where I previously didn't take as much advantage as I should have. And the other thing I realized also is, maybe it's time to reach out to those who I've been probably subconsciously scared to reach out to, because they're quite big, like the Gary Vaynerchuk and the Robin Sharma, these guys who are on my list. I recently on Instagram, I published a list of 100. It's gone past 100 now, but it's a list of 100 people that I definitely want to chase after, to get their wisdom and share it with everyone. Anyway, this episode, along with giving you an update on that sort of stuff, I wanted to also talk about the Golden Buddha story. So this week that just went, I watched a documentary called Finding Joe. Now, if you haven't seen this, it's part of a network called Gaia, GAIA. It's like Netflix, but for spiritual, philosophical, and scientific stuff, like documentaries and films. Anyway, this is on there, and this documentary is from 2011. It's based on Joseph Campbell's work on the hero's journey. And a story that they tell at the start really stood out to me, and I wanted to share it because I've definitely felt this over the last few years. And those of you who are probably feeling like you're in a state of flux at the moment, and feel like you want to go out and do something, but you don't really know what it is, or whether what you're doing now is all there is to life. So listen to this carefully, because it really struck me, because I could make a comparison and resonate with this in my own life. Now, there was a temple, a monastery in Asia, where all the monks went, and they used to worship to a golden Buddha statue. And they heard that there was an army coming from across the borders to come and invade. So they quickly went out, and they covered the Buddha with a mask, with stone, cement, all of that sort of stuff. And it's set on the Buddha. So when they came and the army invaded, it didn't look like it was of value. It didn't look like gold. It just looked like an ordinary statue. So they came, they looked at it, and they didn't think anything of it. So they just left it. They didn't bother to do anything with it. Now, as time went on, they forgot about it. And so as the monks came, they worshipped. No one really took notice, because it wasn't golden. So it wasn't anything special. And then as years went on, there was a little kid who came to worship. And he was on one knee worshipping. And as he finished and he was getting up, the hand cracked off. The cement hand cracked off and fell to the ground. And what was under it? It was the golden hand, the actual hand of the Buddha. That was the original valuable part of the Buddha statue. And so he gets all excited and he runs back inside and he says, look, I found a golden part of this statue that we didn't know existed before. So they all start chipping away and looking at whether this is an actual real thing or if he's just telling a fib, and whether the whole statue is golden. So they start chipping away, and they realize the whole thing is golden. And someone's just forgotten about it over the years. Now, the point of the story is, the point they're making in the documentary is that all of us have that golden Buddha inside us. We are golden, but we forget and we get covered in cement and rocks and stone and masks over time through social conditioning, through the things that we're told as we're growing up from our parents, from school, from university, society in general. And you start to build up these layers of different things of what people think you should be. And there's a quote, I'm not sure who said it, but there's a quote that says, I am not who I think I am what you think I am. Something along those lines. Anyway, the point is that we are not the people that we think we want to be. We're trying to project what they think we should be. So whoever, let's take your friend, for example, that you're trying to please. You're trying to be the person that you think that he thinks you are, if that makes sense. So you're trying to project this weird mask of yourself that you don't even know if it's true, and it may not even be making you happy. So you cover all your layers. You cover yourself, the golden part of yourself, with these layers just to fit in. And over time, it becomes so thick. The layers become so thick, you forget the golden part of you until something happens in your life, a divorce, financial crisis, you go homeless, you hate your job to a point that you can't stand it anymore. Something like that happens before you realize, actually, there's more to this. I need to look at myself. Something happens, and it sets the wheels in motion, because then the cement part of your hand falls off, and you realize, actually, there is more to this. Because as you start looking, you realize not everyone's living like this. There are other people who found the golden part of themselves again. And so you want to start searching. You start chipping away, and the rest of your life just becomes chipping away. Now, there's people who start chipping away, and because it becomes so tough, they stop halfway, and they realize, I know it's there, but I just can't continue because the journey is so tough. And there's those who are chipping away forever, trying to find their true and highest self, to serve to the world, to figure out who they are and why they're here. So you decide which are you, because I know all of you have felt this way. You've realized, you've had a glimpse of what it's like to see the golden part of yourself. And one quote I'll end with is something that Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of my favorite poets and essayists, said. And he said that the greatest thing in this world is to be yourself in a world full of people that are constantly trying to make you something you're not. And to me, it resonates deeply, because there are so many distractions from other people that you get on a day-to-day basis that force you to put on a mask or to put on a costume. And eventually, instead of going from a caterpillar to a butterfly and evolving the way you should to make you happy, your natural evolution, you end up becoming you end up staying a caterpillar that's wearing a butterfly's costume. You end up staying a caterpillar that's wearing a butterfly's costume. So you're faking it the whole time. But anyway, I'll leave you with that. I hope this message resonates. You enjoyed the story. You enjoyed the message. If you think there's anyone else that will benefit from it, please do share it. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week.